Hi, and welcome back to Yoga with Tim. We're going to begin today's practice in child's pose, and we're going to do a few hip mobility things that require a block. So grab a couple blocks if you have them handy, and then we'll begin in child's pose. So with your big toes together, take your knees just wide enough for your ribs to fit in between. Let your head start to melt towards the floor. Open up the skin on the bottom of the hands. Reach out through your fingertips. Take a moment to feel your breath moving in your body. And let the breath roll in and out. Then come up onto your hands and your knees. We'll take 3 rounds of cat-cow. Inhale into extension, let the spine go into a back bend, and exhale around. Inhale, flip the sit bones up. Exhale around. Last one. Then come into neutral and place a block onto your lower back. Now, without your body moving around at all, without your spine moving, not letting it sink, not letting it hunch up, see if you could just bring your right knee up towards your elbow, keeping the low back long. Then rotate your thigh externally, lift it away from the floor, hold it there. Internally rotate it, kick it back behind you, firm your buttock out of your back as you push up. Open it back out to the side, externally rotate, bring it back towards your elbow, back to starting position. Let's try that on the other side. Bring your left knee up towards your elbow, externally rotate, internally rotate, kick it back behind you, squeeze the buttock towards the knee, lift up higher, move it back out to the side, navel up, rotate it externally, bring it back to the starting position. Good, then move the block to the side, but keep the memory of the block on your back. Take your right arm out in front of you, left leg back. Move that buttock down. Without the lower back sinking, lift the foot up an inch. Now as you exhale, bend your knee and your elbow out to the side, still keeping that lower back long, spine in neutral. Inhale, reach back out. Exhale, bend out to the side. Inhale back out. Exhale out to the side. Inhale, reach out. Lower your hand and your knee down, change sides. Left arm, right leg. Lift that back leg up an inch, buttocks out of your back. Bend knee, elbow out to the side. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, bend out to the side, both in external rotation. Inhale, reach out. Exhale out to the side. Inhale, reach out, and lower your hand and your knee. I'm going to post down below a link to a hip mobility video that we did a little bit more of that block stuff, and I find it really helpful to warm up my hips with that before I practice. So I'll include that in the description below. Now push down into the 4 corners of your hands, curl your toes, and as you draw your navel up to your heart, lift your knees up an inch. Stretch down into those hands. Then slowly start to reach the hips back, lift the buttock up, turn the outer shoulders down, push the hands down, spine tall, lift the knees, thighs, plug them up towards your hips. Then lower your knees down, toes curled under, stretch your buttock back to your heels. Come back up over your hands, lift the knees up an inch, push down to the 4 corners of the hands, stretch the butt back, lift the hips up high, lift the thighs, turn the outer shoulders, press down into your hands. Drop the knees down, toes curled under, stretch back, reach into your hands evenly. Last one, come back up, lift the knees, stretch hips back, push into the hands, pull thighs, knees up. Then from here, bring your right knee up to your chest, pull up high, and step your foot up by your thumb. Drop your back knee down, inhale your arms up. Exhale the arms into cactus position. Rotate externally like you're pushing your knuckles back up against the wall. Pull up through the back of your skull, lower back tall. Raise your arms back up. Bring the hands straight out in front of you, fingers pointing forward. Then slide your hips back over top of your left knee, slide your right arm back along your chest, and reach it back like you're up against the wall. Pull up tall through your crown as you spread your arms. Come back to center. Inhale, reach, turn. Exhale, inhale. Exhale, then raise your arms up. Bring your hands down onto the inside of your foot. Wiggle the foot over to the right just a bit. Curl your back toes, lift your back knee as you draw the right thigh back into the hip socket. Lift up onto your fingertips, reach your heart forward. Then step your back foot an inch closer and straighten your right leg as best you can. Rebend your knee, plant your hands and step back into plank pose. Hold in your plank, engage your core, lift your right leg up without sinking or twisting. Hook your right big toe onto the heel of the left foot, push down, engage your legs, lift your navel heart. Uncross, change sides, push that big toe down, squeeze your legs, pull up through your spine, uncross, and stretch back into downward dog. Shift into plank, pull your left knee up, step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Drop your back knee down, inhale your arms up, exhale cactus position, rotate externally, lift your heart, inhale arms back up, bring the hands out in front of you, and twist. Back to center. 2 more times. Last one. Pull up through your crown, spread your arms, reach. Back to center, then raise your arms up. Bring your hands down on the inside of the foot. Wiggle your foot up or over a bit. Melt your hips forward, reach your heart. Then curl your back toes, lift your back knee, come up onto your fingertips and get taller through the spine. Then start to straighten out your left leg, step the back foot a little bit closer. And it's important that you're reaching down through the foot as you pull the hip up. So the leg is growing longer instead of just trying to jam it straight. So you can see like this early, my leg won't go all the way straight. I don't quite have the mobility yet. So I'll just go into that bent leg pose, work on stretching, breathing. You just want to go to where you feel the barrier and breathe. It doesn't have to look like it looks in a yoga book or anything, so don't try to jam yourself. Then rebend that knee. Now step your back leg forward so your feet are outer hips distance apart. And then as you soften the navel to the spine, let the hips start to drop towards the heels without the feet collapsing inward. So think of your arches, the arches of your feet staying upright, inner and outer arches. Then straighten your legs. Grow the hips up over the heels as you let your head drop. Roll yourself up to stand. Inhale your arms up and overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a flat back. Plant your hands and step back into plank pose. Lower slowly onto your belly. Stretch your arms forward. Locust, press the tops of the feet down. Turn the thumbs up. Then lift your hands up just an inch. Bend the elbows back into cactus position. Turn on the external rotators, lift up higher. But then reach forward through the crown of your head. Stretch both arms straight back, expand the chest. Place your hands next to your side ribs, press up into plank pose, and stretch back into dog. Walk your feet forward to the front of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, raise the arms. Exhale, samasthiti. Inhale, raise your arms up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Step back and lower, chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward dog. So if you notice that round, I did a very modified chaturanga where instead of lowering all the way, I just kind of bent the elbows and rolled through into the up dog. So that can be a great way to build strength in your core, hold your mountain pose line until you can lower into a push-up position without the shoulders collapsing, holding the Tadasana line through the spine. Look in between your hands, step or float up to the front. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up, raise your arms. Exhale, samasthiti. Inhale into chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale into a flat back. Step back and lower into chaturanga. Inhale into upward facing dog. Exhale into downward dog. Step your right foot up by your right thumb. Warrior one, turn your back heel down. Inhale, come right up through the midline. Exhale into chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Step your left foot up. Warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Hold in your down dog. Reconnect to your breath. Bend your knees, look in between your hands. Step or float up to the front. Inhale into a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Stand and release your arms at your side. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Step or float back, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Step your right foot, warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Step your left foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward dog. Hold in your down dog and reconnect to your breath. Now don't just hang in your dog. Press down in between your big toe mound, second toe mound. Draw an imaginary line from there up into your hip sockets and lift your hips up. Now imagine I've attached giant helium balloons to your hips, your hip creases. Like when I was a kid, they used to have this Goodyear blimp that went around. Whatever happened to that thing? Remember that? So like you had two of those tied to your hips, pulling your hips up. Now grow your arms longer. Grow your legs taller to fill in the space so you stay connected to the ground. Wow, that's a pretty good one. Okay, and from here, raise your right leg up behind you. Keep your hips level. Stay evenly reaching to your hands as you can. Then, I want you to open your hip up, externally rotate your thigh and bend your knee. Reach into those hands, stretch that leg. Then re-extend, level your hips, bring your knee to your chest, pull up. Step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Now plant your left hand flat on the ground and twist. Take your right arm up. Now from here, as you push down into the inner edge of your left hand and lift up on the front of the left shoulder, I want you to turn onto the outside edges of your feet and rotate this thigh externally. As you do that, lift from your navel up to your heart, push down into that left hand and lift up on the front of the shoulder and the chest. Then slowly, with control, bring that hand back down. With the hand on the inside of the foot, lower your back knee down. Now let your hips melt forward towards your wrist as you reach your heart forward. Two more breaths. Curl your back toes, lift your back knee, and step back into down dog. Inhale your left leg up from the inner thigh. Then open your hip, rotate your leg externally, bend the knee, and then reach that leg, stretch, push down through your hands. Level out your hips as you straighten the leg. Shift into plank, pull knee up to chest and hold. Pull up higher and step your foot all the way up by your thumb. Then plant your left hand flat, right hand flat, and twist. Take your left arm up. From here, turn onto the outside edge of the feet. And as that left thigh turns out, lift from your navel up to your heart. Don't let yourself sink. Press into the index and middle finger knuckle on your right hand. Lift on the front of the shoulder. Then spin back up. Hand down onto the inside of the foot. Drop your back knee down. Let your hips start to melt towards your hands as you reach your heart. Then curl your back toes under, lift your back knee up. Step your back leg forward. Lower your hips down towards your buttocks again, like how we started. This time you might be able to go deeper, elbows onto the insides of the knees. Oh wow, look at that. What a few little poses could do for our hips. It's corny, I know. Okay, then bring your feet together, and ideally keeping your heel bones down, could you drop your butt towards your heels, put your arms forward? You might need to lift the heels up a little. Then, see if you can internally rotate your arm, slide it behind your heel, and then go with the other one, same thing. Release that, palms out in front of you, hook those arms back into your shins. Now hands flat on the mat, scoop from your navel up to your heart. Now think of yourself like a hot air balloon. The fire is coming from the pelvic floor and the lower belly. Draw that fire up into your spine, fill your lungs, and then from that fire, filling up, opening up your back, lean into your hands, and lift your feet up. Then set your feet back down and fold forward. Inhale into the flat back. Step back into down dog or take a vinyasa. Step your right foot for warrior one. Inhale, reach up. Bring your hands behind your back, knuckles together, or take reverse prayer. Straighten your right leg and start to tip out over your right leg. Then reach down through your feet. Inhale, come back up. Right hand on your hip, raise your left arm straight up. Grow along through your back leg, past your fingers. Then reach, twist, and put your left hand down, right arm up. Now press down through your feet and like a windmill, come up and around for the other side. Bring your hands behind your back, open up your heart, inhale. Exhale, fold forward out over your left leg. Press down through your feet. Inhale, back up. Left hand on your hip, raise your right arm. Then reach, twist, put your hand onto the outside of your foot. Reach down through your feet. Inhale, come back up. Parallel your feet. Place your hands on your hips. I'll turn to face you so I'm not rude. Open up your chest and your shoulders and fold forward in between your legs. Set your fingers down. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, create length. Then exhale, bend your right knee and come into a lunge over on that side. Stretch through your left inner leg towards your big toe. Change sides. And come back to center. Now walk your hands around to your right foot at the front of your mat. And drop your back knee down to the floor. Hands on the inside of the foot. Coming back to this lunge. Stay here, or if you feel like your hips have opened up enough where you could lower your forearms onto a block, then do that. But if you can feel that your lower back shrinks to make that happen, then that's kind of cheating. We want to feel that the lower back expands. Remember that helium balloon idea. Pelvic floor, lower belly, the flame from there is opening up your back. So your whole back, visualize it, the lower back, all like a balloon. Okay, I can maybe go onto the elbows and still do that. So this pose is like a lizard pose variation. So you can hang out here, or if the lizard pose is going really well, like you're like, yeah, it's not so intense, I feel like I could add on, then you might want to try an arm balance variation of this one. To be honest, I'm kind of right at the edge. Like my hips are kind of tight, so I can go into the arm balance, but it might not be the best thing for me. It'd probably be better for me to just hang out here for 5 breaths, but I want you guys to see the arm balance. So from here, I'm going to take my shoulder behind my leg and bring the hand to the outer ankle. And then I'm going to see if I can bring both hands to the ankle and then recreate that belly action, open up the lower back as I lift my back knee up. So this is stage 2. If this is going really well, then you could be ready for stage 3. If not, practice this. Back knee drops down again. I wiggle the shoulder a little deeper. Then I put my hands into chaturanga position. Then from here, as I pull up in my belly, get ready for flight, I'm going to lift the back knee and scoot the front foot forward until I can lift it up. And then back to chaturanga. And stretch back to down dog. Let's do it on the other side. Left foot forward, right knee down. Now through all that, it shouldn't be like so much strain to where you can't breathe. So like I was able to talk during it. You should be able to talk and If you're doing it like that, all you're doing is creating more strain and tension for your body. Now, for sure, the arm balance is going to raise your heart rate. It's going to be intense. It's going to build strength in your upper body. But you should have the flexibility and the stability in your shoulders, etc., to where it's not so gnarly already. And what I recommend is checking out the arm balance course that I created to help to learn to do all these things, to get the mobility, to get the stability in your shoulders. I teach you lots of different exercises, so I'll put that in the link below. And it's free for the conscious movement community. If you sign up for the conscious movement community, you can do it there. Okay, so from here, I'm going to see if I could slide the shoulder behind the leg. Get that junk out of the way. And grab a hold, and then lift the back leg up and the right elbow. Then if that's all going well, I'm going to set this up again and then start to wiggle the foot forward as I lean into my chaturanga arms. Oh, blocks in the way. And then go right back into chaturanga. Press up into plank and stretch back into dog. Set your knees down. Come back to child's pose like how we started. Then we'll take a moment to do down dog on the forearms, or headstanders do headstand. And of course, in that series, I teach all the basics for headstand. So elbows right underneath the shoulders, hands shoulder distance apart. We'll do the forearm down dog today. Curl the toes, lift your knees up an inch, rotate externally, and then start to lift your hips all the way up. Hold here, maintaining the shoulder rotation, or challenge it and see if you can raise one leg up, still rotating. Change legs. Lower that leg, set your knees down, come back to child's. Then come into Dandasana. Sit up straight and tall. Raise your arms up without leaning back. Take your arms forward, lean your torso back, bring your knees up. Lower into Ardha Navasana. Come back up into Navasana. Purvatanasana. Put your hands a foot behind you. Lift your heart up, and then start to lift your hips up. Lower your butt down. Raise your arms up, sit up tall over your sit bones. Press down into the inner feet, knees in. Arms forward, come into boat. Lower into low boat. And now see if you can bring your hands behind your head. Ooh. Come back up into boat. Cross your legs, hands next to your hips. Lift your hips. Then lift your feet up. Lower your butt back down. Stretch your right leg out, bend your left knee back, and fold forward over your leg. Inhale back up, change legs. Inhale back up, then lie down onto your back, have one of your blocks handy. Press your heels down, press your upper arms down, and lift your hips up, bridge pose. Spread your chest muscles, roll your shoulders open. You can hold here or go into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Lower your buns back down. Now take your block, and just to balance out all the stuff we did that was hunched over, we're going to lie down with a block in the upper back, supporting the shoulder blades, and then just open up your chest with your legs in Baddha Konasana. To come out, roll over to your side instead of curling up. Press up, move the block to the side. And then we will take the arms out to the side, cross the right ankle over the left knee, and let your legs fall over to the left as you look to your right. Come back to center. Change the cross of your legs and let the legs fall over to the right. Back to center. Stretch out for shavasana, or we could take the arms in cactus position and do Baddha Konasana legs. And this will help to open up the chest and the shoulders from all the chest closing that went down from the arm balance stuff. Or if you'd rather just take a classic shavasana, that's fine too, with the legs stretched out and the arms at your side. If legs wide apart feels uncomfortable, you could also do knees together instead with the feet wide. Then bend your knees and roll over to your side. Press yourself up to seated. Join your palms together as you sit up tall. Thank you. Namaste. Hey, thanks so much for joining us today. Ollie. Ollie, come over here. Come say hi. He's being shy. That's the dog. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed the class, please hit the like button, hit the thumbs up button. Leave a comment below. Let me know if you had any questions about this stuff or any other arm balances or things you'd like to see in future videos. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And most important, if you're looking to start to develop your practice and really advance your practice, deepen your practice, the best way to do this is to sign up for the Conscious Movement community. Here I introduce different variations. I break down how to get into these poses, where you're lacking the flexibility, mobility to move, and we really address that, and I give you exercises and techniques to help to practice that you can focus on for your own body. So I'm gonna put that link below for the Conscious Movement community. The first 2 weeks are free or something like that, so just check it out, give it a try. You'll find the arm balance course on there, and you'll find 1-hour versions of many of the videos that you see here, which just give you more of an opportunity to create depth in your practice. So double the fun. All right, I'll see you next time. Have a great day.